Welcome into another episode of Mood Swings with Liv Moods. I am Liv Moods, and as always, this is presented by Landmark Lincoln. Make sure you check out our friends over at Landmark Lincoln off of Bellevue and Broadway to figure out why they have been the #1 Lincoln dealer in all of Colorado for as long as they have. I am a proud new owner of a 2025 Lincoln Nautilus and could not recommend that car anymore. Head over there, get in one of those cars. They speak for themselves. But enough about cars. Let's get into the show. Welcome into Mood Swings with Liv Moods. Much to discuss on this Victory Monday. Yes. Another Victory Monday. It's not really getting old saying that. I got to be honest, it's feeling really good to be a Denver sports fan these days. I went to the Denver Nuggets game on Saturday versus the Phoenix Suns, which wasn't a matchup I was necessarily excited for just because you guys know my thoughts about Phoenix. I've had them for so long. I just think they're a mess, and I don't think I will ever believe in the Phoenix Suns until that front office actually addresses their offseason issues. So went to that game. Nuggets got a dub. Broncos got a dub yesterday. So, of course, we have got to talk about that first and foremost. We DEM boys. I'm sorry. Can we all collectively agree? The Cowboys are not America's team. America doesn't want to watch this horseradish. America does not want to watch a Swiss cheese defense, okay? They just don't. They just don't. Now, that being said, going into this matchup, I wasn't feeling like overly confident here, right? This is one of the best offenses in terms of yards per game in the Dallas Cowboys, and Dak Prescott has been having a phenomenal season so far. So you put that up against one of the best defenses in the NFL versus the Denver Broncos. You never really know, like, was this a weekend that the Denver Broncos defense started to look gassed and couldn't hold back a Dak Prescott? Then you've got the Dallas Cowboys defense that is absolutely abysmal, awful. Swiss cheese. I think I could go for probably 400 plus yards against this Dallas defense, and that's saying something. But our offense, yes, coming off of so much momentum versus the Giants, but still not maybe trustworthy because of their consistency or lack thereof. So I wasn't sure what to expect in this game. It could have gone a lot of different directions. I feel like the Cowboys are just one of those teams you can't count out. You just can't. You started this game early. I see one of the comments addressing Pat Surtain. Yeah. Not feeling great. Let's wrap that guy in bubble wrap ASAP. He started to get injured. Shoulder. First, it was the shin. I was worried it was an Achilles, perhaps. We're knocking on wood. Then it was a shoulder thing. Bo Nix very early threw an interception, and I was just thinking to myself, oh, God, not this again, not this again. Cowboys were moving the ball pretty effortlessly to begin with in comparison to what the Broncos were able to do. So I was just not feeling great, guys. I really wasn't. I was feeling very uncomfortable and very nervous. However, the Broncos pulled away with a win, 44-24 over the Dallas Cowboys. Maybe, Cowboys, maybe you'll get us in the next 30 years. But until then, this was belt to, you know what, ASS. I'm not going to say it because I'm going to be very professional today. Look at my professional top. I mean, I feel very elegant, professional. I should have put on a pair of glasses. It's making me feel smart. But this was a true butt whooping by the Denver Broncos, which is something they needed. And more importantly, this was the most complete football game we've seen the Denver Broncos play this season. They scored every quarter. Their defense was able to force interceptions, turnovers. This was a game where it really felt super complete. You got 2 more sacks out of this Denver Broncos defense. My gosh, the sacks are kind of the storyline here for this defense this season. I really, really love it. But scoring every quarter to me was the biggest point because this offense, again, having a lot of talent, if you will, isn't the most consistent. And we don't know how to feel about this offense week to week to week because of the lack of consistency here. That being said, I really want to start off by talking about how bright I think the future is for this Broncos offense. The young guys showed up this weekend. They really do. All 6 touchdowns. Yes, 6. Just saying that alone feels really exciting because the Broncos scoring 6 touchdowns in a game. What? We don't hear about this often. All 6 touchdowns came from first or second year players. You got 3 from the rookie in Harvey. You got 1 with Pat Bryant, who was also a rookie. And then second year, Troy Franklin, you got 2 touchdowns out of him. Here's the deal, though. All the young guys showing up, the first and the second year guys looking really, really nice. Harvey, however, Sean, you've got your Joker. You've got your joker in RJ Harvey. He's a running back with elite hands. He made huge gains in yesterday's game. Okay. He's proving a little bit more and more to be reliable for Bo Nix, which is huge. He had 2 rushing touchdowns in this game, 1 receiving touchdown in this game, all while backing up J.K. Dobbins. This is still not running back 1. So now I ask you, should RJ Harvey be RB1? Or do you still give Dobbins his touches and just get RJ a little bit more involved? I think there's a world where you do keep J.K. Dobbins as RB1 because he has also proven to be very reliable. But you've got that secret weapon, that joker in RJ Harvey. And I just think you find ways to get creative and implement him more into your offense, because what we saw from him really was kind of his claim to fame a little bit this game. He really put himself on the map. If there were any questions or doubts as to whether or not this was an appropriate draft pick or a smart investment for this Denver Broncos team, I think he proved against the Dallas Cowboys that it absolutely is. So I am a huge, 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 huge RJ Harvey fan at the moment. I think everyone from Broncos country is, but I would love to see him implemented more into this offense. The Broncos now, after taking down the Dallas Cowboys, are 6-2. They are at the top of the AFC West. They are riding high on a 5-game winning streak, okay? And they are the first team ever in NFL history with 35-plus sacks and 10 or fewer sacks allowed in the first 8 games of the season. 35-plus sacks. They've only played 8 games. That's a little over 4 a game. This defense is elite. This is an offense that is finding rhythm and momentum, in my opinion, at the perfect time. You've got some opponents coming up that you could probably classify as easier wins. I don't like to even say that when it comes to the Denver Broncos because we know nothing with them is ever easy. But you've got very winnable games on the horizon. You're going to meet the Chiefs here pretty soon, okay? And after that, you get a bye week. So they can rest their bodies. They can get some rest, some much-deserved rest, especially because they had that, 3 weeks that they got short rest, had to go to Philly, then they were off to London. So they're tired, and they're playing really tough football. Even to come back in the fourth quarter the way they did to the Giants had to have been exhausting. So you've got an offense that's finding momentum at the right time with some winnable games on the horizon. It's a really great position for them to be in. And then you've got an elite championship level defense. To me, I am not joking. I'm not saying this just because I am a born and raised Denver Broncos fan. This truly is a team, in my opinion, that could go all the way. If every week you watch this Broncos team in some capacity, not even get better, but just build off of their momentum, this is a very dangerous football team. Very dangerous football team. Although I don't like Sean Payton's play calling, he's a great and very smart head coach. This is an elite championship level defense. This is an offense that's finding rhythm and momentum at the right time. And when they click, they look really stinking good. And you've also got a clutch quarterback in Bo Nix. The Bo Nix haters, I just need you guys to be quiet because he has proven time and time again that he is a clutch quarterback. Maybe not always reliable, but a lot of that has to do with the play calling that is not catered to his strengths. So when you look at just Bo Nix, take the play calling out of it, this is a quarterback with a very high ceiling that can help you win a lot of football games, and he has proven that many times before. So all of the things working in the favor of the Denver Broncos. When they're on, they are effing on, and it is so fun to watch this team. It really is. And you know what they say? Defense wins championships. And right now, this Denver Broncos team, in my opinion, has one of the most electric and fun to watch defenses in the league. Maybe I'm biased, but I don't think I am. I'm going to go ahead and tweet really quick and let people know that we are live. We want them to come hang out with us. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Okay. Next on the agenda, we just talked a little bit about the Denver Broncos. Now we've got to talk about the Denver Nuggets for a second. As I talked about, I went to the Phoenix Suns game, got to watch the Nuggets in action in their home opener this season, okay? They comfortably, and gosh, doesn't it feel good to say that because this is very similar to the Broncos. For whatever reason, my 2 favorite sports teams in the entire world, the Broncos and the Nuggets, don't like to win comfortably. They like to keep me on the edge of my seat. They like to make me sweat it out. That's just what they do. I've just learned to get used to it, okay? They comfortably beat the Phoenix Suns in their home opener 133-111. Hello. Can't remember the last time that they beat a team just comfortably and soundly from start to finish, and that's how that game was. With only 6 minutes remaining in the second quarter, Nikola Jokic had not attempted a single shot. Not one. And I have to talk about this because it's really funny to me to see so many people kind of panicking, like, oh my gosh, Jokic isn't taking a shot. Is there regression? Is there, should we be worried? Is Jokic bad all of the sudden? The panic is real by people who don't consistently watch this Nuggets team. I got to tell you, though, what cracks me up about that is Denver fans have been praying for this moment. The moment that you don't need Jokic to take a single shot in order to win a basketball game. 6 minutes were remaining in the second quarter, and he had not attempted one single shot. Do you know how badly I've been waiting for this moment? Thank God he's not taking a shot. Please. To beat a team by 22 points, and you had a Nikola Jokic who didn't have to take a single shot with 6 minutes remaining in the second quarter. Hell yeah. I've been waiting for this moment my whole life, okay? My whole Nikola Jokic watching life. I have been waiting for this moment. The Nuggets are deep, and this has been a problem of theirs probably since the 2020 season. You could argue in 2023 when they won a championship. The one thing people were worried about in terms of what was going to stand in this Nuggets team's way was their depth. They have depth. When was the last time we were ever able to say that the Nuggets won a game comfortably? When was the last time we were ever able to say that they won a game comfortably and Nikola Jokic had only scored 14 points? Never. I don't think we've ever said that, okay? They comfortably won by 22 points, and Nikola Jokic only scored 14 of the 133 points scored. Guys, this is kind of unheard of here, if we're being honest, okay? Jokic had only 8 field goal attempts, and the Nuggets won by 22. Jokic was 0 of 3 from the three-point line, and the Nuggets won by 22. I love it. So watching people panic, oh, boo-hoo, Jokic is regressing. Oh, look at Jokic. He's not. By the way, the man has still had back-to-back triple-doubles in both the home opener and the most recent game against the Suns. So a bad night for Jokic or an off night or a night where he doesn't have to do everything, he's still getting a triple-double. Let's be real. He still had 14 rebounds and 15 assists alongside those 14 points. He's still balling out. Let's not get it twisted here. But I just love seeing mostly non-Nuggets fans looking at Jokic's numbers or watching, seeing that he's 0 of 3 from the three-point line, which, by the way, I don't love. I would love for him to make every shot he takes. But when have we ever been able to comfortably say that Nikola Jokic can have 8 total field goal attempts in a game and the Denver Nuggets can not only win, but win comfortably? That's depth, baby. Nuggets fans have been praying for this moment. I got to tell you, there's not an ounce of me that panics when I see Nikola Jokic not shooting well or not shooting at all. I'm like, thank God. Praise be. Praise be. We've got Aaron Gordon dropping a 50-piece on your head. Okay, the depth is there, and this is something that we've been waiting for so long. The mere fact that he doesn't have to be everywhere doing everything in order for the Nuggets to win might just be the Denver Nuggets' secret weapon this entire season. Because that's something they finally have that they haven't for a very long time. So that right there might be what makes this Nuggets team so dangerous. You still have a Nikola Jokic that at any given moment could turn it on and turn it up. Let's be real. Let's not forget who Nikola Jokic is. Don't get it twisted. He can still show you what he's about, but he doesn't have to. So this Nikola Jokic, that's just kind of like whatever, that's what everybody perceives him as. Oh, I don't care. Now he can just kind of enjoy the game of basketball, which is a really nice feeling, not just for him, but also for Nuggets fans, that we have enough depth on this roster that Jokic doesn't have to do everything. Frankly, anything. 8 field goal attempts total in a very comfortable win versus the Phoenix Suns. I mean, yeah, you can make a case that the Phoenix Suns are just awful. But guys, I got to remind you, this Nuggets team lost to the Washington Wizards last year. Okay, so them beating a team that you would deem bad, it's not happened before. They've lost to teams that they had no business losing to because Jokic wasn't enough. He couldn't do it all himself. Now we're living in a world where there is so much support and help around him that I just chuckle to myself when I see people panicking, ready to push the panic button on Nikola Jokic not being, the Nikola Jokic we've been used to watching for how many seasons in a row. But how refreshing does it feel if you're a Nuggets fan? We don't have to have Jokic do everything in order to win. I love it. I think it's the Nuggets' secret weapon. I really think this is a team where you've got Aaron Gordon, has become a reliable three-point shooter. You've got depth. You've got a center behind Jokic that can actually make those non-Jokic minutes sufferable. Not insufferable, but we can survive them. They feel good, okay? Non-Jokic minutes no longer terrify us. I'm no longer shaking in my boots, okay? You've seen improvements to their defense. Just look at their plus minus. That's very telling. There were games where every starter was in the minus. We've really got some good things going here with this Nuggets team, and I truly believe this Nuggets team is absolutely a contender, maybe now more than ever before. Why? Because there's depth. God bless America. Imagine that. Imagine a front office that gets out there and addresses your weaknesses. What? I'm sorry. I thought that's what they were all supposed to do. Yeah, it is. But they just don't all do it. Let me get a sip. Okay, there you go. That's my thoughts. I'm not hitting the panic button at all on Nikola Jokic going 0 of 3 from the three-point line or only having 8 field goal attempts. I celebrate it. I revel in it. I love it. I want more of it because it means he's got a supporting cast. God bless America. Thank you. Hallelujah. Amen. All right, moving on. Is this the best NBA season we've ever seen ever? Guys, it might be, okay? Just to name a few. Austin Reeves, hello, ? Dropping 51, a career high without Nikola Jokic. Sorry, not Nikola Jokic. They're very similar. Without Luka Doncic on the road versus the Kings. Hello, Austin. Where have you been? Love it. Aaron Gordon dropping a career high 50 points in the season opener, 10 of 11 from the three-point line, and casually slams an in-game 360 dunk out of nowhere. Yeah. This is real life basketball that's real life happening in real time, okay? Steph Curry, 42 points, most of which came in the fourth quarter to single-handedly come back and win against the Denver Nuggets. Yeah, he did it himself. Carried the team right on his backside. Love to see it. Jaylen Brown, 41 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists versus Detroit. Cam Thomas with a 40-piece. Okay, Anthony Edwards with 41 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 three-pointers made. Also, Anthony Edwards, we're going to get into that later because we do have the Denver Nuggets facing the Timberwolves this evening with no Anthony Edwards. We're going to get into it, okay? Giannis was 1 assist shy of a 40-point triple-double. Are you joking? Tyrese Maxey, 40 points and 7 of 9 from 3. Sengun looking like a threat already in Houston. Just to name a few guys. LaMelo Ball, 38-point triple-double. You get both KD and Brunson scoring 37 points. Wemby, oh my gosh. Stop. We got to talk about this Wemby guy. Listen here. This is without a doubt. Forget about it. The absolute obvious choice for MVP as it stands right now. I know, 3 games in, woohoo. If Wemby continues to play this way, and you've got a Jokic that's able to take a step back because his team is helping him out finally for the first time in forever, Wemby's looking like the best player in the league. Oh, yes, it's the truth. This is coming from a Denver Nuggets fan and a Nikola Jokic truther. Wemby is playing at such a high level on both sides of the floor that I'm afraid he is really itching close to being the best player in the league. And he might already be there, guys. I'm serious. What we're watching with him, even through the first 3 games, is poetry in motion. It really is. He's making history, guys. 100 points, 15 blocks, and 40 rebounds through the first 3 games of the season. What? What are we talking about? He's unguardable, guys. And he can guard his face off. I mean, this is truly, and honestly, that's been one of the things that people have had reservations about when it comes to Nikola Jokic. He doesn't play defense. Wemby's doing it all right now, and he looks amazing doing it. The only thing that would stand in his way of winning MVP and or being named the best player in the NBA would be him not playing the majority of the season with an injury. That's it, though. Outside of that, Wemby is looking like the best player in the NBA. Yeah. Watching him feels like a real treat. It feels like an honor to watch him play basketball right now. The ceiling is high. Absolutely. I mean, I'm wildly impressed with what Wemby's doing, not just from a stat perspective, but if you watch his game, it's something very, very special. If Wemby can stay healthy, might be worth a little sprinkle on the Spurs just solely because he's on that team. You know how you have a Patrick Mahomes or you have a Steph Curry or you have a Tom Brady and you're like, they're contenders just because that guy can be that guy. Might be worth a little sprinkle on San Antonio to make a big, deep run if Wemby stays healthy because he is playing that well right now, in my humble opinion. I just listed off a lot of players that are absolutely crushing and dominating right now. Liv, why no SGA? Okay, here's the deal. All of the things I just listed, that's basketball, baby. That's that dog. They're fighting for every bucket. You've got AG with a 360 slammer mid-game, okay? You got Steph Curry single-handedly coming back in the fourth quarter, just draining threes on your head. You've got Wemby hustling on both sides of the floor, 100 points, 15 blocks, 40 rebounds in the first 3 games. Forgive me if half of SGA's 50-point performance being at the free throw line is boring to me. I'm bored. Sue me. Okay? I can sit here and say, absolutely, SGA is one hell of a player. Talented as ever. I'm not ever taking that away from him. But these are 2 different categories of basketball, I'm afraid. I'm sorry. It's the truth. When half of your points come from the free throw line, and then I've got Aaron Gordon doing 360 slam dunks in my face mid-game casually like it's nothing. And I've got Steph Curry draining threes and single-handedly bringing his team back into a victory versus the Denver Nuggets. And I've got Wemby, poetry in motion on both sides of the court. I don't care to watch SGA score 50 when 25 of them are from the line. I don't care. It's boring to me. I'm sorry. It's boring basketball. And good on him. He's still balling and OKC's still winning games. Good on them. But I'm telling you right now, I'm not watching that. It's unwatchable to me at the moment when we've got everything else going on in the league. I just listed off how many different players that are balling out. You show me what Austin Reeves did, and then you put on another TV right next to it, SGA's game, spending half of it at the free throw line. I'm good off of that. I don't need to watch that. That's not basketball to me. It's boring. I don't want to see it. We've got way too much talent and way too many good games going on. I don't need to watch SGA shoot free throws for 4 quarters. I don't. Okay? I don't want to see that. So if that makes me a hater, fine. I'm a hater. That's not the type of basketball I want to watch. So if you're wondering why I don't spend time on my show praising SGA the way I do other players, it's because to me, I'm not going to praise that. It's boring to me. Boring. Like, let's move on. It's boring. Anyway. Speaking of boring, really quick, while we're on the subject of the NBA, has nothing to do with this, but I did tweet this out and wanted to just share this on this show. I got to be honest with you guys for just a quick hot second here. It is so corny and boring and overdone and forced, the Russell Westbrook hate. Can we let it go, guys? You take the good with the bad with these types of players, okay? Russell Westbrook, just last night, 18 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, okay? 6 of 12 from the field, 4 of 6 from 3 in 27 minutes. The hate for Russell Westbrook is so forced. It is so corny. It is so boring. Like, find a new person to obsess over and hyperfixate on and hate on, because it's so weird to me and it's so corny. Honest to God, it really is. Russell Westbrook, so happy for you. Keep crushing it. I'm going to keep watching you ball because you're one of the greats, and any person that actually loves the game of basketball should love watching you play. And if they don't love watching you play, then you're not a true fan of the game of basketball. You're just not. You're just corny and bored. That's what you are. If you're trying to find every reason to hate Russell Westbrook, and I'm not even going to say the name of the crowd that is the loudest when it comes to the Westbrook hate. I hate to be the bearer of bad news to this crowd. I'm not going to name names. I don't do that. But I am going to say, to the largest group of people that all support the same team that hate Russell Westbrook the loudest, I hate to break the news. He is your ex, and he has moved on 3 times since he's been with you, and you are still thinking about him. It's giving creepy. It's giving cornball. It's giving move on with your life. Find a hobby, okay? Too much free time. The Russell Westbrook hate is forced. It's corny. It's weird. It's boring. We're over it. Move on, okay? He's moved on 3 different times, and you're still talking about it. Please move on. Like, what good does it do me to talk about the Minnesota game in overtime where he missed the layout? It's over. By the way, that game absolutely was important because that's a rival. That's a team we struggle to beat. But if we're going to use that as the reason that we didn't get a 2 seed or a 1 seed, really, we shouldn't have lost to the Wizards either. I mean, come on, guys. This is a long season. What I'm not holding on to these little things. My God, move on. So shout out Westbrook, doing his thing, making a name for himself on a new team. This is a great player. Always has been, always will be. Move right along. Thank you. Okay, let's get into the NFL, shall we? We have to talk a little bit about my little power rankings. Now, you're going to say, Liv, oh my gosh, you idiot. What are you talking about? This is just the team these are the 5 teams that are giving me the best gut feeling right now. Right now in this moment. Could this change in a week or 2? Of course, you've watched the NFL before. But right now, these are the teams that are just giving me the best possible feeling. We're going to start at number 1, actually. We're going to go 1 to 5. It should not shock you that the Colts are at 1. This team is the real deal, okay? I think we've been waiting, not just me. I think a lot of people have kind of been waiting for their luck to run out, but they continue to prove that this is not a stroke of luck. This is a complete football team. This is a good football team, and they deserve their flowers. Colts at 1. I don't know where else to put them because they deserve this moment. They are red hot. And they don't look like they're slowing down anytime soon. So Colts at 1. At 2, after last night, I got to go with the Packers at 2. Jordan Love is the real deal, guys. Jordan Love really is the real deal, okay? Packers at 2. When things are clicking for this Packers team, they're a complete football team. A really complete football team, okay? 2 words, Jordan Love. Proved last night that he really is him. And when he's on, this to me feels like a team that is a serious contender. And we know he can turn it on. We've seen it even in a playoff spot. He's very poised to me. He's reliable. I think there's just moments where sometimes he plays it a little bit more safe and other times where he can truly win a football game for this team. I really like him a lot. There's weapons everywhere. This is just a really complete football team to me. So Packers at 2. At 3, the Lions, okay? Top offense, top 10 offense, top 10 defense in this team. My only concern here is what version of Jared Goff do you get in the postseason? When the playoffs come around and the games really, really start to matter, what version of Jared Goff do you get? That's my only concern. Because I think we saw last season, the spotlights get a little brighter in that playoff world, and he is a different quarterback. So there's my only concern there. At 4, Tampa Bay. Baker Mayfield started the season playing at an MVP level. I mean, you couldn't slow this guy down. And even still, with a lot of his weapons missing due to injury, he's still finding ways to win. When this team is fully healthy, I think they are a true threat. So they're at 4. And at 5, shut up about it. I don't care what you think. I don't care if you think I'm a homer. Be quiet. I'm allowed to be. Okay? The Broncos, guys. I'm serious. Pretend I'm not a Broncos fan for 5 seconds. I'm just talking facts. There's no denying this team has momentum right now. Yes, absolutely they do. Absolutely they do. They have all the momentum. Starting in the 4th quarter last game against the Giants, they got momentum, and they are just continuing to build on it. That's a very dangerous team, especially when you couple that with an elite defense, an offense that's starting to heat up and finally clicking, and you're getting more out of these young guys, right? It's not all about Sutton. It's not all about Mims. It's not all about Evan Ingram. You've got young guys now kind of showing themselves for the first time. Hey, here's what I'm about. At this time of the season, that's crucial. You've got an offense that's finding rhythm and starting to click, and you're starting to see new weapons form. Really good. You couple that with an elite defense and a quarterback that has proven multiple times, despite what the haters want to say, that he's clutch and he doesn't get worked up under pressure. He stays cool, calm, collected, and he finds a way to win games. Sorry. Broncos at 5. What can I say? Now, the one comment I'm going to make on this is when I was making my power rankings and I was just reading people's thoughts out there in the universe about all these teams right now, I am really struggling. Like, I understand the principle behind the fact that the Kansas City Chiefs have Patrick Mahomes and they will always be in a good spot if they have him. But the fact that I saw people with a power rankings list with the Chiefs as the second best team and or sometimes the first, and they're third in their division, shut up. My God. Like, yes, they have Patrick Mahomes, but until they climb to the top of the AFC West, like, that's weird to me that you've got them even over the Chargers. Why? Like, what? It doesn't make sense. I don't like it. Shut it down. Shut it down. The Chiefs glazing, shut it down. Okay, guys, my producer is a Chiefs fan, and that team, yes. Does that team terrify me? Yes. Do the Broncos have to face that team soon and I'm terrified, shaking in my boots? Of course. But let's not come on. They're still third in the AFC West. They are. I understand that they got some weapons back. I do get that. But they're not one right now. They might be in 3 weeks, but they're not right now. So weirdos. Shut it down. Don't even get in the comment section and ask me where the Chiefs are. You know where the Chiefs are. They're third in the AFC West. That's where they're at. Be quiet. Shut it down. Okay. They also play tonight. Who knows? They could lose tonight. What if they lose tonight? I bet your power rankings looks a little different. Yeah, I'm sure it does. Okay. Moving on. Where do we stand? My weekly standings. Yes, please. Okay. Where do we stand? And this week, it just felt appropriate, honestly, to be ranking throwback uniforms. Because it's not even close. Like, it's like 5, 4, 3, 2, huge gap 1 when it comes to these throwback uniforms. Like, huge gap. Like, the first place of these throwback uniforms, it's not even close. At 5, we'll start from the bottom going up. The Philadelphia Eagles, they're Kelly green. I like the Kelly green. That's like the perfect color green to me. That is attractive. It just looks clean. It looks sharp. It looks nice. That to me is a very pretty green color. It looks good on them. I really like the Kelly green. It's a vibe. It's a total vibe. So Kelly green at 5 for the throwbacks. Love those. At 4, the Miami Dolphins, and frankly, every combination of their throwbacks. I've seen the orange, I've seen the turquoise, I've seen the white. I love them all. They're just nice. They're just nice looking. I like the Miami Dolphins throwbacks. They're clean, they're nice, they're fun colors, but they're not too obnoxious. Honorable mention, the Steelers throwback uniforms are disgusting. Who allowed that? Genuinely, I had to, at times, turn that game off of my television screen because of how ugly those uniforms were. Whoever, I want to go all the way back in time. Whoever made those, you're in trouble with me because those are bad. They're bad. Oh, God, they look horrible. I'm sorry. They are so bad. I am not a fan. Okay. At 3, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers creamsicle. These are beautiful. These are beautiful to me. And it could be because I also love a creamsicle. Maybe that's what it is, but these are beautiful to me. I love it. I would have never paired that creamy orange with a red. I would have never done it, but it looks really good. I like these a lot. These are different. These are fun. They're obviously different from their normal uniforms, which is probably what I like about them, but that's a really, really, it's a really nice combination. I dig it. Okay, at 2, the New England Patriots. They're red Pat Patriot. Yeah, I like these a lot. These are clean. It's giving like America. It's just giving classic. It's giving classic football. I don't know how else to say it. These are classic. They're clean. They're nice. I dig it. I don't know what to say. Like, this is just kind of my preference going on here. Really like these. And at 1, and it's not even close. Like, the way in which these number 1 uniforms are so far ahead of everybody else is actually sickening. Denver Broncos with the Orange Crush at 1. And it's not close, folks. It is not even close. The Denver Broncos have the best throwback uniforms in the league. It's not even close. And I am begging, Broncos, if you're listening, I am begging, please make these permanent. Please permanently add these into the rotation of uniforms. I love the throwback Orange Crush uniforms. I love them. they looked so good on the field while simultaneously whooping the Cowboys. Like, it was just chef's kiss, perfection. Every piece of apparel that I buy for the Denver Broncos that is like my favorite is typically throwback. It's got the throwback logo on it. It's the lighter blue versus the darker blue, and I love it. Love it. These are by far the best throwback uniforms to ever exist. Yes. Yes, I'm seeing people asking where other throwbacks are. They didn't make my list. That's it. That's it, guys. But yeah, the Denver Broncos, it's not even close. They're the best, and it's not close. Okay, really quickly, before we get into driven opinions, I want to talk to you guys about a little whip that you can go check out over at Landmark Lincoln, okay? Step into the 2025 Lincoln Corsair GT plug-in hybrid, where style meets innovation. For a limited time, get 0% APR for 36 months or 0.9% APR for 72 months. And here's more good news. Qualifying Colorado residents can save an additional $3,500 with the Colorado EV tax credit. Go to landmarklincoln.com or visit them in Englewood, like I said, off of Bellevue and Broadway to take home a beautiful 2025 Corsair GT. You heard it here first. Get your hands on one. Why wouldn't you? Okay. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you should have seen the little Landmark Lincoln whip that I was modeling with the other day. It is beautiful, and I need to get my hands on it in one way or another. I don't know how to do it, but I'm going to do it. Okay, let's get into Driven Opinions, which is also driven by Landmark Lincoln. Backseat. I take a backseat. The backseat is a hot seat, all gas, no brakes on hot takes. My producer, Andy, has come up with a little prompt and our question for me. I have no idea what it'll be. So let's find out. This is driven by Landmark Lincoln. Okay, let's get into it. Last week, Andy asked me about a bird theory, which was a wonderful thing, and then asked me when I'm decorating for Christmas, which, by the way, as soon as Halloween's over. That's the answer. Okay, let's see what she's got for me today. What do we have here? Oh, that's a great question. Would you rather be the NBA's best dunker or best three-point shooter? Oh, that's so hard. I think dunker. There is something about a dunk that is just like, even if you're losing, like even if the score, a good dunk is never like, and I think three-point shooting is becoming so much more prevalent and so much more common that it's going to start to lose the appeal. Like, obviously, a guy like Steph Curry will never lose appeal because he is him, right? Like, there's a certain level of greatness that Steph Curry has when it comes to his three-point shot. But it's becoming more common to be a good three-point shooter in the NBA because that's the way the game has evolved. Dunking is a skill set and what's the word I'm looking for? A skill set and like, it's a thing that we need to cherish and hold on to a little bit longer. I feel like as three-point shooting becomes more prevalent and more common, we're not getting as much dunking. You know, it's like that 360 dunk by Aaron Gordon was like, right? Like, that was a highlight. That was a highlight that was all over my timeline from every media company out there. Steph, unless he's got like 14 threes in a game, you know, it's like the threes are not as cool anymore because everyone's doing it. So I would say best dunker. And I would have to be built very differently in order to make that happen, but that's it. It's a dying art. Guys, by the way, my fiance watches every single one of my shows. So he just texted me and said a dying art. He just knows. He knows that was what I was trying to say and I couldn't think of it. My God. It is a dying art form. That's exactly it. Dunking is a dying art form. Three-point shooting, not so much. It's actually really, really common nowadays that people are really good from beyond the arc. That's the way the game has evolved. So to be able to be the best dunker in the NBA, I would just be flexing on everybody every game. Like, you can't do this and I can. So for sure, I would say best dunker. That to me would be the best. Okay, love that. Great question, Andy. Okay, I think we have one more segment, Andy, right? Yes. Betting, my love language. My love language is betting. And what's your guys' love language? Put it down in the comment section. I remember when I met Alex for the first time, he's like, oh no, like words of affirmation. I don't care about words of affirmation. Yes, he does. Okay, so his is words of affirmation. I would say besides betting, my love language is, I'm not a touchy-feely person. Like, I rarely hug my friends or my family, honestly. So wouldn't be physical touch. I don't really need gifts. I would say like acts of service. Like if I'm really stressed and I'm like running around and I really want the house to be clean, but I don't have time to do it. Like if the house gets picked up or dinner gets made or certain little things like that, like acts of service really, I think, go a long way with me. Words of affirmation too, a little bit, but mostly I would say acts of service is big. Andy, what's your love language? Quality time. Okay. I actually probably could have guessed that. Andy has the most booked social Andy, how many friends do you have on average? 47 good friends. I mean, guys, I'm like the type of person that has like 3 people that I talk to like on rotation. I feel like every time I talk to Andy, she's like at a flag football tournament or kickball or all these things. And like, she is a very social person. So I need to step it up. I'm not super social. I need to have more of a life, but I struggle with that. Quality time for Andy. For me, like I said, I think acts of service is a big one. And also sports betting. So let's get into the sports betting side of things, shall we? We do have a Monday night football game tonight. Commanders at Kansas City. Okay, Commanders at Chiefs. All right, here's the deal. The Chiefs obviously have gotten some weapons back. We know what they've looked like since they've gotten those weapons back. They're a very different team than how they started their season. So this Chiefs team being favored by what? I think I saw like 10.5, which is psychotic. Do we know if Jaden Daniels is playing and or not? I don't know that for sure. I was kind of just looking at the player prop market, and here's what I like. Deebo Samuel, guys. Deebo Samuel is 0-5 versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Not him himself, but because he played for the San Francisco 49ers, okay, this is personal for a guy like Deebo, all right? Just because he's on a new team doesn't mean that the beef has disappeared, guys. He wants to take down this team probably more than anybody else on this Commanders team, right? This dates way back from when he was on the 49ers team. So for Deebo, it's personal. He's also been balling out. He's been a very reliable target offensively for this team. His receiving yards have hit the over based on where his line is set, 44.5 in all but 2 games this season. He scored a touchdown in all but 2 games this season. Okay, he's back from injury. I think he's not only ready to get back into playing football, but also ready to face a team that he's just got beef with. I don't know this for sure, but I would imagine, a team you can't get past, it's always going to be there. So I like Deebo to have a great night. I like him over on his receiving yards. I like him to get in the end zone. I think that he is the guy that if the Commanders are going to hang and if they're going to get it done, it's going to be because Deebo really stepped up. So I like Deebo Samuel over 44.5 receiving yards plus an anytime touchdown. I did bet both of them. So if this line has changed, I'm sorry. This is what I got it at, 44.5. Liv is definitely rooting for the Commanders. Yeah, duh. Need it. It's like not optional. I absolutely need them to win. Okay. As for Nuggets, Timberwolves. The Nuggets are on the road taking on the Minnesota Timberwolves, and you guys know how this goes. For whatever reason, the Timberwolves, actually, we know the reason. The Timberwolves literally designed a roster to compete and beat the Denver Nuggets, and they've done so very well over the last few seasons. So, no Anthony Edwards tonight. That obviously helps things out for Denver, but that is in no way a reason for Denver to tread lightly with this game. This is still a great team. They're stacked with talent. You forget about Anthony Edwards. There is still talent on this team that is designed to take down a team like Denver. Now, what the Timberwolves have not yet seen is this Denver team with depth. That's what they haven't seen yet. So I'm looking at the player prop market here, and here's what I like. Through 2 games this season, the Nuggets have struggled guarding the point guard position. Now, let's keep in mind, it was against Devin Booker and Steph Curry. That being said, they're allowing the most points versus point guards compared to any other team. I know it's only been, 2-3 games for most teams, but they've allowed the most points to opposing point guards, and they've also allowed an average of 5 threes. Again, Steph Curry and Devin Booker. I get it. However, you guys, we know a guy like DiVincenzo is going to take the shot. Even if they're not falling, he's going to take the shot, okay? So I like DiVincenzo to have a good game against this Denver Nuggets team that's been struggling against the point guard position. And then I also like Cam Johnson in this game, mostly from the 3-point line. I think he's gaining a little bit of confidence, and like DiVincenzo, he's going to take the shot. And I really actually respect that about him. So I like Johnson and DiVincenzo in a little same game parlay, both to have 2+ threes, because the value of them individually to have 2+3s is just not there. So I stuck them together, and I think it was like +112 when I got it earlier. So DiVincenzo and Johnson to both have 2+3s in this game as a same game parlay. My final play for the evening is Jamal Murray. Okay, here's the deal. Jamal has been playing really, really unselfish basketball over these first 2 games, which again, I'm not saying he's typically playing selfish basketball, but he has stepped into a role where I think they're all understanding they don't need to be that guy every night. They don't need to score 30 plus points if everybody is holding their weight. So I really, really like the way he's playing unselfish basketball. He's still contributing greatly. He's still hustling. Through 3 games, Minnesota has allowed the 5th most boards to opposing point guards. So give me Jamal Murray over 9.5 rebounds and assists combined. I like him to facilitate. I like him to get some boards in this one. I like him to hit that over 9.5. So these are my plays for the basketball game. I've got that same game parlay with DiVincenzo and Johnson, both to have 2+3s. Jamal Murray over 9.5 rebounds and assists. And then Deebo Samuel over on his receiving prop as well as an anytime touchdown. There you go. We shall see. I will say I have been giving my fiance Alex a lot of bets and props behind the scenes that I have not been posting. Like we'll just be sitting on the couch and he's like, what do you think about this game? What do you like in this game? I've kind of been on fire. Now, what's going to upset me is if now that I've given them out to the public, they start not hitting. But I have been doing pretty well with gauging player props and kind of formulating my opinions on games. So hopefully that continues for you guys tonight if you decide to tail me. But if not, we'll bounce back eventually. Okay. Really appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. This has been another episode of Mood Swings with Liv Moods. We will be back. I am on a plane tomorrow headed to New York. And I'll be gone all week, but I will be back in enough time for our show on Friday. So have no fear. Another Mood Swings episode coming to you at 4 p.m. Mountain Time on Friday, as well as a post-game live show following the Denver Nuggets game. Nuggets at Timberwolves tonight. I will be live from my home studio to do a post-game live show. So if you enjoy my banter and conversations around the Denver Nuggets post-game, we'll have one of those tonight for you. So be on the lookout, and we will talk to you guys very, very soon. Much love. This has been presented by Landmark Lincoln, and we will see you tonight or Friday. Bye.